Hey everyone, it's Tom here, back again with another edition of the Raw Ramble and another edition of the Gritish Film Club, that being gritty British films. And this has been a fun little mini series that we've been doing on the channel. Initially, it started as just let's look at films that the Raw family actors and actresses have been in, which is what we did with Hard Labour at the start, Mike Leigh's Hard Labour from 1973 with Liz Smith. But as it went through, it sort of became clear to me that, like, that's great and we'll continue to do that. But it would just be fun just to look at stuff that feels a little in that, kitchen sink British vein. So we've done Dead Man's Shoes before, Bait, Sexy
Mm,
Beast. We've gone for a lot of these
classics.
sort of movies. Yeah. And today I'm joined by, again, people outside of like the Raw Family podcast, British comedy world might not know about Battle Rap and Don't Flop and all that stuff. But yeah, known this guy for a long time. He co-founded the ultimate league here in the UK, Don't Flop. And, now he's a hotshot producer, editor, I should say, on Netflix. Kruger, how's it going, man?
Good man, how you doing?
I'm good, man. And so I came to you because obviously, we're both really into film, and I figured you'd be a good one for this series, really. And you just said Nil by Mouth. Like I sent you a list, but you just said
Mm.
Nil by Mouth. Like, what is your connection to this film? What's your history with this movie?
Yeah, I don't know. I think when you sent me the list, there was obviously a few films that I resonated
Yeah.
with, like even the ones you said, like Dead Man's Shoes,
Oh
like
yeah,
Police.
yeah, yeah.
Like I love as a genre, I love the gritty British films.
Right.
But yeah, this one I hadn't actually seen in like years, but I just remember it really resonating with me.
Mm,
And when I
mm.
watched it last night, it kind of like it all just came back, and I realized why I liked it so much. It's very dark, but I've
Oh my
always been
God.
drawn to very dark kind of films. So, but yeah, I just think the performances are brilliant.
Yeah.
Like Ray Winston, I
Oh
love
my
that
God.
it was set obviously it was made in the 90s, so it's got that like sort of London 90s feel, which I'm just
Mm.
fascinated because I grew up as a kid in London in the 90s. So seeing like these like streets and just like people using phone boxes
Yeah.
and stuff like that, it's
The
just like a
BT
little,
phone boxes. Yeah.
yeah, and it's literally like it's like a window into the actual world because it just feels like a slice of life as
Yes.
well. And that's what another aspect that I like about it is seeing these kind of darker kind of characters, this kind of like the kind of parts of society you don't often see,
No.
and just the way it's done with such realism,
Mm.
just kind of always resonated with me for them factors.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And I always knew of Nil by Mouth. Like when I was younger, getting into films, it was like, oh, it's this like, it's pitch black. It
Mm.
wasn't British, it's Ray Winston. But I never really knew what it was about per se. And there isn't really a plot. I mean, we'll get into it, but that's what I find so interesting. Like you say, it is very slice of life. There is a lot of
Mm.
long sequences, especially early on, of them just telling stories of their life and, kind of reflecting on that way.
Yeah.
And it's weird as well. I was thinking of you watching this actually, because obviously I knew, yeah, you grew up in London and like films are such an amazing snapshot of a time and place. And yet it is just so nice.
Mm.
Like even early on, like when they're going through the red light district, and you see like the arcades and you might see Sega Land and a bit of that. Like it's so
Yeah.
90s, like.
That old Soho. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, also talking about those anecdotes that they tell, like early in the beginning of the film,
Mm,
it's just something about I've always loved that kind of Cockney kind of way of talking, like,
yes.
and those actors like Ray Winston and I've forgotten the name of the other guy, his mate in the film.
Oh, he's amazing, isn't he? Yeah,
He's so good. He's in
Mark.
so many classic British films. I think he was in
He
EastEnders as well. But
yes, yes. Layer Cake he was in, yeah.
you see him all the times, but I don't know his name. It's one of those actors. But
No, I've got a little bio for him actually, and we'll
right,
get
yeah,
to him
yeah, yeah, yeah. Give
shortly.
him his props and
No, no,
respect
I
because
agree. I
yeah,
agree. Like
he should be more of a household name.
he
He's
should, no,
brilliant.
he really should. It's like Kathy Burke and Ray are incredible in this. I mean,
Yeah.
Kathy Burke won the award at Cannes for
Mm,
Best Actress. Like, there is something. But you're right, actually. I was watching this film recently the other day, and I was like, holy, this guy's brilliant. Like, this
yeah.
guy has such character to him, doesn't he?
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yes, this is Nil by Mouth. This is from 1997. And very interesting factoid about the film that I remember discovering this when I was younger and just being quite impressed. Written and directed by Gary Oldman, the only film he's ever made.
I know. I was fascinated by this as well, but I didn't know that until you asked me to review it. Because I think when I watched it back in the day, it didn't really mean anything to me. Gary
Yeah.
Oldman. I didn't really think. I didn't look at the director's
Oh yeah,
bit of
yeah.
every film anyway. Like now I'm more into films. I'm kind of checking directors, seeing this written, but I find it interesting looking at the
Hmm.
IMDb, seeing what other films they made. And then yeah, when I was re-looking into this because we agreed to do the podcast, I was like, oh, Gary Oldman directed this. Like I had no idea. And then I
Yeah.
looked at what other films has he done. I've looked, and this is his only film he's ever written and directed.
That's the only thing, yeah. And
Yeah, just fascinating.
he's got a film coming up, interestingly.
Right. Okay.
Um, Flying Horse. It's just got a page on IMDb. It's like some old school history romance thing. And he directed a few music videos as well, but very,
Right.
very
Yeah.
few.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, but like a full length film, that's like quite dedicated. Why was it only this one? It's quite interesting, and he must have felt quite passionate about it to make this his
Yeah,
kind
yeah, yeah. There's actually quite a good
of.
article that The Guardian posted a few years ago where Ray and Gary speak briefly about the movie. And yeah, Gary
Mm-hmm.
basically says that sort of he was divorced at this time. He had a lot of money to spend because he put a lot of money into this film as well. And this was a story that he felt he needed to.
Right.
Did you notice as well that it's Luc Besson presents the film at the start?
What does that mean? Who's
Well,
Luc Besson?
Luc Besson, the guy who did like The Fifth Element and,
Oh,
Leon. He's like this legendary
oh,
French
that. Okay,
filmmaker.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So he co-funded this movie basically
Okay.
on the merits of Gary Oldman, and that's why Gary
Mm.
Oldman did The Fifth Element as well. So
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Gary Oldman's had a hell of a career.
oh,
I've loved his the Slow Horses. Do you watch that?
yeah, I love that show
Yeah,
as well. I
he's
agree.
so good in it as
Well, it
well.
feels a bit Nil by Mouthish, kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah,
it's in a different world, of course. It's in like
yeah.
high spies and stuff, but yeah,
But the character he plays almost could be a character in Nil
yes,
By
what's he
Mouth.
called again? The character? He's like the disheveled, like he's like
Yeah,
the legendary. Yeah, I'm blanking on the name right now, but that
I know.
is
Same. Yeah,
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 Slough House is the name of the whole
yeah,
book, Mick Herron books and stuff like that.
yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, and bit of contextual history for you, Krugs here. So this film came out, obviously it debuted at Cannes.
Mm,
But it came out in England on early October, the 10th of October, 1997. It entered at number eight, actually. Entered at
mm,
number eight, which is as high as it got. But it was a great era for film here. In the top five, we have Contact by Robert
hmm.
Zemeckis, classic sci-fi. A film I've always liked, but only because it was always on ITV. Do you remember Volcano
I don't think I've ever seen that. No, I've not even
with
heard of
Tommy
it.
Lee? It's not very good. It's not very
Right,
good.
yeah. Twister, but just like the volcano version.
There was another crappy natural disaster film from the 90s that was bad called like Hard Rain or something, and it's
Right, yeah.
like they just sort of went through the elements there. But
I love
yeah,
a natural disaster movie though. I'm a sucker for a natural disaster movie.
I mean, have you seen Twisters? I've not
I
seen
haven't
the
seen a
new
new
one.
one. I meant to watch
No,
it at cinema, but I never got around to it.
because it is a genre that they don't really do anymore for the most part, I guess.
True. But I think like well the most recent example I can think of, it's not that recent. I think it was
Mm.
2012 or something. But the one about the tsunami in Thailand.
Oh, The Impossible.
Yes, that one. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, that was really good
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
With a young Spider-Man there, Tom Holland,
Yeah. Yeah.
as the boy. But just to wrap up the top three, this was what was in the cinemas
Yeah,
when Nil by
yeah.
Mouth was in the cinemas. The Game by David Fincher.
Oh yeah, I love that film.
Lesser known David Fincher film, but cool
Mhm.
film. A Disney classic for me, which entered the charts at number two. Hercules.
Wow. That is a
Love that.
classic.
Absolutely
Yeah.
love that. And
Yeah.
number one, good to see that number one was another British classic, arguably more of
Okay.
a comedy than the drama, but still a British classic. The Full Monty.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Interesting.
great era, great era.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, again, as you say, this was an incredibly well received film for the acting,
Hmm.
applauded by the critics, nominated for four BAFTAs. It won two, winning Best British Film and Best Original Screenplay.
Mm.
And I mean, it goes without saying, really. I think when you talk about classic British films, I wouldn't say this is ever like number one or two, but it's
No.
definitely in the mix, isn't it? People know
Yeah.
about this film.
Yeah. 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 But it's not. I wouldn't say it's like a regular pick because it's just so. I don't think it's for everyone's taste as well.
No, 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 God, no.
It's just yeah. It's extremely dark. Like the subjects it touches on. But yeah, so well done though. I think.
Oh God, yeah,
Very,
the
very compelling.
execution and the performances and
Mm.
and yeah, just before we get into it, I think there is a quote from that Guardian article I mentioned before by Ray. Ray's talking about this film. He's saying, "quote The film's a tough watch, perhaps not
Mm.
one for Saturday night with a pizza, but I think it
Yeah.
stands the test of time, and that's the genius of Gary Oldman."
Yeah, and that's completely true. I agree with that. Because me watching it all these years later, and even more years from when it came out, you can see that it's still like it's if anything, it's got better with age. because it kind of like it's kind of a real insight into that kind of life in the 90s. And also these characters are so like they're just like they're still here today. Do you know what I mean? It's just in that kind of world.
Yeah.
But like Ray Winston just plays basically like a horrible person, like a bully type. Do you know what I mean? And you come across these kind of people in life, people that make you feel uncomfortable, and you just
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah.
really like to be in their presence. But you're a little scared of them, and you don't want to say the wrong thing, and they just know
Hmm.
that they can flip it. And these characters exist, and I think it was just well portrayed, and obviously just very scary, like
Terrifying.
scarier than a horror film, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, some of the pits that Ray reaches in his anger. I mean, we'll get to that, but yeah,
Yeah.
we open with some blues guitar. Eric Clapton did the
Mm.
score for this film. That's quite weird, isn't it?
Interesting. Yeah. I really like the music.
Yeah, I do too as well. It's not, it could be like minimal piano and like industrial stuff, but it's kind of quite
Mm.
soulful rock, but I think it works.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it takes it into a slightly different direction. But yes, as I say, we get the intro, and the first scene is we just sort of get to appreciate Ray as he is. And it's great, by the way, isn't it? That he's called Ray. It's Ray Winston playing Ray.
Yeah.
Those blurred lines are kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. Why not?
I,
Like Will Smith being called Will in Fresh Prince.
well, indeed, yeah. And he's sort of his character feels like a Ray. Ray's one of those names, of
Yeah.
that sort
Yeah.
of Millwall
Yeah.
sort of thing. But yeah, and Ray Winston, we should say as well. I mean, it's interesting really because when we were sort of coming of age in movies, Ray Winston was a big star, and that he'd been known a long time, but he had sort of
Mm.
had Scum as a big breakthrough. And then done stuff,
Yeah.
but really, it was this film that kind of catapulted him to stardom.
Was it? Yeah.
Mm, mm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because like he kind of even now like he had like he was on a run from the 90s to the 2000s, early 2000s. He was
Yeah.
like he had a hell of a run, and then he kind of like I haven't seen him in as many things like all the way up until like him being in Departed and stuff like that.
Oh, Departed was
Um,
extraordinary that he was there.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but then like I don't really see him that much. He was in the Guy Ritchie series recently. Was it A Gentleman? I found it interesting that he didn't work with Guy Ritchie sooner.
I mean, you would have thought, yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
like Lock, Stock, and Snatch. Like they feel like kind of, and it also on that subject. Actually, I noticed that the guy that was in his friend, the guy who the
Yeah,
heroine,
yeah. He plays Plank in Lock, Stock. Yeah.
exactly, and he's such a interesting actor. I think he's got such a distinctive voice.
Yeah, yeah. And a look and a vibe. And
Yeah,
like, you spoke about people like Ray, bullies that you encounter, but I've known people like him, like really small, intense,
yeah,
sinewy geezers.
yeah. And I haven't seen him in anything else. I've only seen him in that and Lock, Stock.
Yeah, I've got a little bio on him. His name's Steve Sweeney is his name actually. But yeah, weirdly didn't do too much. Like really
Mm,
it is Nil By Mouth and Lock, Stock that he's most known for. But yeah, I mean Ray as well. Like you say, he did have a crazy run, Sexy Beast, which we've actually just covered on this podcast. Amazing
yeah.
movie. Beowulf. He was in
Mm,
Beowulf, Hugo, etc. But yeah, so here we have Ray getting pissed off in the fog of the crowd. We don't even cut to the barman I like. It's just him trying to get the attention of something. And then he orders like a huge order, which is obviously for other people, but you get the vibe already that this guy's a bit of a drinker, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I want gonna get three pints of lager. I want three vodka and tonics and a drop of scotch. Half a lager lime and all. Three vodka tonics, yeah. Slice of lemon in them. I would put an olive in there.
And it's a big free lagers, free vodka tonics, drop of scotch, and
Hmm.
he's and this world as well that we're in, Kruger, the working men's club, the comic, the curtain, the vibe.
No, it was interesting. I found that really interesting. That opening scene where it's like they're watching the stand-up comedy with
Yes.
these like comedians with like really edgy jokes and like well that was like an interesting choice of setting and just like kind of and everyone's smoking constantly drinking pint and kind of like introduces all the characters in the beginning
No, yeah,
stages.
yeah, definitely does it really well, and it's not
Yeah,
quite because yeah, you see sitting down are Val and Janice, played by
yeah.
Kathy Burke and Layla here, Layla
Hmm.
Morse, who I'm sure you knew, like I knew, was Mo, right, from EastEnders, like.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And it was cool to see her in an actual film. Do you know what I mean? I think again, I've only seen her in EastEnders, so I think she did great as well.
This was her debut. This was her first time ever on camera. And you know she's Gary Oldman's sister.
What?
Yeah.
You just blow
That pause then. Yeah, no, for real.
I had
for
no
real.
idea.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating. I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yes, which roots it even deeper, right?
Okay.
Like, that blew my mind as well when I learned that. That was like, again, knowing that Gary Oldman directed this, like there's so many little kind of, just insane revelations there. But so yeah, we see Kathy Burke here. We see, I was gonna call her Mo then. We see Val. It's hard not to call these people by just their names because obviously they're just so evocative.
Or their EastEnders names, especially
EastEnders names, indeed.
You never call them by their actor names. It's always by their EastEnders character.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we see also that Ray goes over to Mark, Jamie Foreman, who we were raving about before, and he was in EastEnders, weirdly enough, himself. But yeah, he's in the Football Factory and Layer Cake and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, he's kind of the archetypal like mate, like with spinning yarns. He's got a really characterful face, and again, like we were just saying before, I love his performance, his persona, and the story that he's telling early on of going to this orgy. Like, he tells it very well.
So he says to me, "Oh, hello, you must be Mark. My wife Deborah's told me all about you. Drinks are in there, parties through there, right?" And he's pointed at these doors. What do you call them doors in the fucking films? What do you call them in the cowboy films? Them doors that you get.
Louver doors.
Louver doors, right? So all of a sudden I'm standing.
Sorry, mate.
All right, mate. Cunt. Wants to sit in me fucking lap, doesn't he? Anyway, so I go through these louver doors, right? And as I've looked around, you ain't gonna believe what I've seen. There's about 8 or 9 couples all bang at it, right? It's an orgy. It's only turned out to be a fucking orgy, right? There's arseholes going up and down, there's tits everywhere.
So good the way he sells that, and it's really coming across like kind of like what kind of person he is, but just I mean, the way he tells it is just like really compelling. It's almost like a stand-up comedian. Or something.
It is, it's its own little performance. But we do see, I think it's quite interesting where basically, so Ray gives the drinks over to the women, but then goes back to his mate and kind of ignores them. But when Mark is telling this story, he gets knocked on accident from behind, and he gets really pissed off. And Ray gets, and you saw,
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. So I was like, oh, these lads can get quite nasty.
Yeah. He's trying to sit on my lap or something.
Yeah. He wants to sit on my lap, the cunt. Like, And Cruger, we should say as well, I don't think the word cunt has ever been used more in a film. It is used magnificently.
Oh, yeah.
Like
100%. Yeah. I think they must have the record.
I think they do, actually. I think they had it for fuck. And then there is a lesser known, is it a Spike Lee film maybe? But I think that might have broke it. So he's telling this story, and it's just, the dialogue, again, it just feels like it's pouring out of these people's mouths like they're real characters, but it's all Gary Oldman, and it's like, it's just wild, and there's so much Cockney rhyming slang in it. Like, there's so much, like, he talks about the woman being fucked up the glitter, which I had to look up. Fucked up the Gary, sorry.
Yeah.
Fucked up the Gary Glitter.
Gary, which is Gary Glitter. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really funny story that he's telling. And obviously the punchline is that this woman's getting railed and he's doing a spliff and she's like, it's not that sort of party, is it? Which is a really funny line. And that kind of like is the film altogether for me, Kruger, where like it is relentlessly bleak, but it can be kind of darkly funny in the most surprising places. Like,
I love the other anecdote he kind of tells about the happy pills.
Oh yeah. yeah. I love that.
Fuck me. You can't shit, you can't piss, you can't. And just the way that even when he's telling these stories, how Ray's cracking up and like just it feels like almost like really real.
No, and I think in that scene as well, he's like, I had blueies, I had greenies, I had Auntie Jeannies. Like Again, the film's just sort of settling into itself. It's not, I should say, and a common thing in British films, Crew, that I've noticed, they're like 80, 90 minutes for the most part. This is not that. This is like a 2 hour 5 film. It's a bit longer than normal, isn't it?
Which is interesting because it's not really like you say, like there's a massive plot.
There's no plot. There's actually like no plot in it. I know, because I watched this through the other day and then I watched it today for notes and stuff. And I was thinking like, it's not even to its detriment though. It's not like it doesn't feel like it's without it. But with a new character, we then meet Billy. who is played by Charlie Creed Miles, who again has been in a bit. Did you recognize this guy?
I did. I remember he was in Essex Boys. That's
Yes.
what I always think of when I see him.
I've not seen that one. Is that a Gritish classic?
That is, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to think if it falls under that umbrella, but I would say it does. I remember having that on VHS, and it was one of the films I watched like multiple times. Yeah. Yeah, Essex Boys.
Essex Boys. Okay, I'll need to watch it on VHS for the real experience, the real British experience, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been in a bit. He was in Harry Brown. I saw Harry Brown many years ago, but he's like the detective in that, and he's kind of in stuff. And you know, he's very good here. And this is the kind of, I don't want to say subplot, but like the other plot of the film, basically, where Danny is he's the brother-in-law, and he's tied to Ray in this way. And he's a drug addict. He's a heroin addict. And he, like you say, is here at the BT phone box, begging the dealer. And I think he gives a great performance, this guy. You really feel like he's either very high or he's coming down.
100%. Yeah. You see both sides. You see him at his lowest and at his highest.
You do indeed.
Yeah, well, Charlie, you know what I mean? We've fucking we've been waiting here for an hour already, mate. You turned your phone off. You know what I mean? Come on, mate. You kind of, you know what I mean? You should have said. You should know. But it's time, for fuck's sake, man. You fucking left us hanging in the lurch. Oh, mate, you're fucking shriveling up.
Yeah, all the traffic rolling by. Again, they're outside a laundrette, and we have Billy here, and we also have his mate Danny, that we mentioned before, Steve Sweeney, best known as Plank in Lock, Stock. And like you say, yeah, he does have this like small, intense, like, any fans of classic rock out there? Oh, funnily enough, actually, Eric Clapton did the soundtrack to this film. He was in a classic 60s trio called Cream, and their drummer, Ginger Baker, the legendary Ginger Baker, who I think was also quite a heroin addict, allegedly, really looks like Steve Sweeney, and he would have done a great film about him if that got made. And then one of the things that I love about British stuff, I mean, I keep saying that, but I like a lot about it, but like that it captures stuff that we've seen in our everyday life on screen. And now this is something I've seen happen a lot at battle rap events, Kruger, and I see Danny do this in this scene where he goes into the laundrette to get a swig from someone else's beer.
Right.
Like I've seen that a lot in the queues and stuff.
I didn't even notice that, but it's goes to show like all the little intricacies that goes into like a scene like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely that. Yeah, sharing cigarettes, sharing drinks, like that is part of life.
Yeah.
Especially among the lower classes and stuff, it's kind of like you're all just kind of getting by on what you can.
So the dealer eventually says they'll come, and Danny then goes back in to have another bang on the beer. And again, just the set dressing is wonderful. We can see the spinning machines, and we can see like the painting on the wall of some tired old painting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of, again, it's a funny scene in a dark way, but it's kind of heartbreaking, really, that when Danny hears that they are going to get the drugs for real, he goes crazy and he starts like climbing on the pole and going wild. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Shut up. You're giving him more and more. Can I have a bang on that? She's fucking winding me up. No, he's coming now. Wait. Dan, he's coming down. That's a fucking definite. Yeah. You're not fucking me about, are you? Why, your head? The drugs are arriving! Yes!
He doesn't care that like anyone else is in there, and it's just kind of he's lost to his addictions. But
that's all they care about is their next hit.
Yeah. And then from drug talk to drug talk, we're back with Ray in the bar, trading stories. Again, the dialogue's just wonderful. He's talking about like I was banging a line up a hooter and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like some of the stand-up material that we hear in this opening scene. The guy talking about playing a country music song backwards and you get your wife back and your house back. I was like, that's almost like a Stephen Wright gag. Like.
Yeah.
And yeah, we basically get our first taste of Billy and Ray. Obviously, Ray is this domineering minotaur of a man, and Billy is this long, lanky streak of piss, for want of a better word. So they aren't, the most easy-going bedfellows, but...
Bill?
Anyway,
Billy?
Thompson's Holiday was the worst gig, actually, since True Story. I thought they do a show.
All right, how's it going? All right, mate. Did you get that bit of thing? Yeah. All right, your family's over there, Bill.
Hey, my mum?
Yeah, do you want a drink?
No, I've got to go somewhere, all right? I'll see you later.
Right, listen. Still on for Sunday?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because it's important. He's a mate. I can't be fucked about.
He's a nice little learner, Bill.
And you're in your whack?
Yeah, I know, yeah, lovely. All right, I'll probably see her tomorrow. All right, listen. Stay off that gear. All right. Because this is important. It's nice for you to put involved there.
Again, Ray's just being, he says, am I cunt or am I cunt? Like
Yeah.
he likes exerting his power, it seems, on people and making them feel easy.
And that sets the scene exactly what kind of characters they are when he kind of talks to him and he kind of just like fucks with him a little bit and just like inserts his dominance and just kind of like puts him on edge. Like you can just see the way he was talking to him, just kind of exactly what kind of person he is and exactly what kind of person Billy is. Like,
yeah, and it's like Ray Winston's acting throughout. Like he sweats in a nasty way, and his eyes like flare and dart, and like it's a really masterful physical performance for me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Masterclass from Ray here.
It really is a masterclass in being a horrific bastard. Like it's like
yeah.
It's Shakespearean almost. But and then again, I'm maybe ashamed to say, Kruger, that this line did make me laugh. Where the stand-up's talking about how he only shags homeless women now because they're easier to get them to stay the night, and after you fuck them, you can drop them off anywhere.
Yeah. I thought that was a great line. I can't lie.
A great line. Again, not excusing it, but the reason I bring that up mostly is because he drops this funny line and it cuts to the crowd laughing. And what I love is it's Kathy Burke. You just see Val laughing. You see her being quite free here. You know what I mean? And being a bit more just enjoying herself. And obviously, as the film goes on, she's going to be, really badly abused.
You look like an anorexic. The best way to wind up an anorexic is tap them on the shoulder and go, you putting on some weight, you fat cunt. Did I tell you that I only ever shag homeless women? So much easier to get them to stay the night. And after you fuck them, you can drop them off anywhere.
The transition there is really nice. And then the sort of next scene again, we just get a feel for how they are in the flat, really, how it's always Mark and Ray just telling stories. They seem to just endlessly tell stories, don't they?
Yeah. While smoking and drinking. And saying cunt. And there's a young girl there who, we learn then that they have a daughter. And Mark is telling this story about Mickey Tyne is someone that they went to school with. And, it's funny, isn't it? Because it's like Ray and Mark went to school together. And it's referenced as well that Billy and Danny's dads knew each other. And it's like this sense of like long history, I suppose, and how they've always been here. Yeah. Again, this was quite dark kind of humor, but it cracked me up when Kathy's character, sorry, I forget the name.
Val,
like, who'd he murder? And they're like, oh, couple of geezers. Just rolling their eyes, telling like trying to like get involved in the conversation, but they're just like shrugging her off. But so funny. As dark as it was just like a couple of geezers.
Just offhand, like casual, like
Yeah. Well, he's banged up at a minute. Where's he banged up?
Up in Wayland.
Wayland, right, for fucking murder.
Oh, don't surprise me. He's like a time bomb waiting to go off that one.
Well, I just said that, didn't I? Yeah. El Plancus Dossos.
Yeah.
Who'd he murder?
Couple of geezers.
Outside a club.
Val calls Mickey Tyne because obviously she knows him. You get the idea that Val's been around for a long time as well. Obviously, Val's mother and her grandmother, and they would have seen all this. But Val calls Mickey a time bomb waiting to go off, which quite prophetic, no?
Yeah. I mean, literally, it kind of sums it up as well.
It does. I mean, it's almost like Ray has already gone off. I mean, he literally explodes in the flat, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he leaves the whole flat like a bomb hit.
Like a bomb hit. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, like a bomb hit.
It's a bit of foreshadowing, actually.
Yeah, it's a nice bit of foreshadowing. J.J. Abrams would be proud of that, definitely.
Yeah.
So it's stories leading into stories, and then again, this is a casual story that they laugh about, and I love that because it makes it land in a different way, but it is like horrendous. They talk about how Mark had a heart attack at the age of 32.
Yes, yeah.
Like, he was, he talks about having, like, again, them doing all these drugs and da-da-da-da-da, and, feeling the brace on his chest and stuff. Like a couple of geezers being killed. This isn't something that was treated with any... it's just not normal, to us, but to them, it's just kind of a tale.
Yeah, exactly. Just another story to tell. That was the same one where he says the happy pill, wasn't it?
Yes, that's the happy pills one, yeah.
Writing is so good.
Oh, yeah, the writing is just extraordinary. It truly is. Like, just the naturalness of the way it flows. And I think Oldman has said himself, like, they rehearsed a lot, and it reminds me a little bit of Robert Altman, where people talk over each other and people
Yeah.
sort of, and also the fact that they're using a lot of wide lenses in very tight spaces. Like this scene
Yeah.
that we're talking about now, there are, well, there's seven characters, sorry, because there's a little girl, there's Ray and Mark, there's Danny and Billy, and then there's the Val and Mo. But it's not the standard like royal family kind of will pan out a bit. It's like you just get a lot of Ray's face in a scene, don't you? Or a lot of Mark's
Yeah.
face. It's like really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. But again, yeah, the way it's just it feels real, really real. It's like
Super
realism.
real.
In like that's what I think is so good. Like even just all the little small things, like Kathy making cups of teas for people and stuff like that, and like, being like, "Oh, give me a cup," or whatever, however he says it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
these little things like that add like the realism to it, where it does feel like you're just in their living room, like a fly on the wall,
Yeah.
watching.
And then Janice, not Mo, Janice comes through, who is unbelievable in this film. I think she's terrific. She's a great actress.
Mm.
And she's I always love it when this happens in like dramas and films and stuff where it's like this scene begins and she's just like been on the toilet for 20 minutes and she just comes out and she
Yeah.
says it's like a rat crawled in my ass and died, which is she's got no airs on her. But what I love
Yeah.
about her as a character is she doesn't back down to Ray 1 inch. Like she does go against him.
Mm.
She doesn't fear him at all. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
she, even though both her children are, real victims to him,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
but, but yeah, super, super raw performances. And also something that comes throughout the film, I think in particular in the Apocalypse Now scene, but it
Mm.
reminded me a bit of Sopranos, Krug, how there's quite a lot of like just the TV's on. Like it likes to
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
show the TV, which is again
Mm.
a lot like the Raw family as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the TV's playing in the next scene. Val is glued to the box, and
Mm.
then down come Ray and Mark, suited and
Mm.
booted, and obviously they've just sniffed loads up their hooter, like they're ready to go out, right?
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, standard procedure for them as always, just heading out for no real reason, and
And just the way that they don't say any. They're like, oh, where's he going? Where are they off to, Dad? It's like, I don't know. He don't tell me nothing. Like it just goes to show like the disrespect and just the, like kind of like that his sense of entitlement that he can just do whatever he wants and just he has this control over her and he's quick to switch so much when she's just playing pool with someone and just like goes rules are different to him. Do you know what I mean? He could just do whatever he wants.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God, yeah, no. And it's like it's the brevity, it's the quickness of it that I really like, where it's like it just cuts to her watching TV, them coming down, clearly done loads of lines, they're sweaty, they're wearing their shirt,
Mm.
whatever. We also get a quick glimpse in the kitchen, and I'm looking in this way because of like the Raw family and like I just love like set design and stuff. But we see like pictures of kids on the fridge with like cute magnets and like like
Mm.
nice things the daughter has, and it's just horrible to think. Again, spoilers I should say, but there isn't really spoilers in this. It's an old film, but it's like it's just horrible to think all of this nice family stuff that eventually Ray, in his tornado of rage, will destroy.
Yeah, for sure. You're right. The set design is very good as well. It kind of just it feels like kind of really real, kind of like what a home would feel like. There was a little tiny TV on the fridge with like a tape cassette or
Yeah.
something. I can't remember. It was like later on, and I thought that was really interesting. Like it's just like an interesting old bit of technology, like a really tiny TV. Like I always remember my granny having like a black and white small TV in the kitchen.
Yes.
And it kind of just shows that like kind of the old kind of way that people used to have like little TVs in their kitchens and stuff. So they're not in a living room, but they can watch a bit of TV while they're washing up or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My nan in Hemel Hempstead had exactly the same thing in the kitchen, a little
Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah.
And it had, now that you bring it up, it didn't have a remote. It basically had like welded into the frame of the TV, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like the buttons.
Yes.
And you could just
Yeah.
press them there.
I'm pretty sure my granny had the same one.
Yeah, probably the same.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you mentioned that little TV as well, because yeah, you see it in one scene in Janice's kitchen, but it's not on, and it looks almost like a bit like a sonar radar system. I was like, what? I was like, is
Yeah.
that a TV? Because the screen is so small. It's like
Yeah.
it's like what, like a Game Boy Advance screen used to be or something like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've never seen that.
No, I didn't know they were a real thing. Like I've seen like the
Yeah,
stereotypical, you know, when you get like a security guard has like one of those little ones with
yeah,
the antenna, but like Chief Wiggum would always have one of those kind of thing. Like, but
yeah, 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 yeah.
Popping out for a couple of hours, babe. Bit of mooching about, won't be long. Bill, don't get too comfortable here. Don't forget tomorrow. Be about an hour. I'm gonna get on it, all right? See you later, Jane.
so yeah, so they go out on the town, but we don't see it. You know, we will see them go out on the town shortly, but this night we don't see. And we're then the next day, and it's quite funny, isn't it? Because they've been speaking in the early scenes about, oh, Billy, come help us with this job and da 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 da. And then we see what the job is, and essentially it's them drinking pints and chatting with the geezer, and Billy has to move all the merchandise.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Just make them do mugs work.
Yeah, he has to do all the legwork, and they speak about another score, you know, another warehouse or whatever, and they hear the police sirens, and that almost feels a bit too like it's almost like I feel like that's kind of almost taking the piss out of them a little bit. It's like they're not after them, you know, but I guess they've always got to be wary, right?
I mean, you just know that these guys do dodgy dealings, and like you can just tell that from their characters.
Well, that's how they get by, yeah, because they don't have normal jobs, and like they mention, you know, them nicking and stuff like that in the past. So yeah, it's in that sort of world. Yeah. We're then in Piccadilly, and this is the old 90s London that we're talking about. And this is what I remember Kruger, because like nowadays on Piccadilly Circus, it's like interchangeable screens. But this was the Sanyo, Foster's TDK era, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I remember it well. Going to Trocadero, which was Sega World back then.
Oh my God, yeah.
So, yeah, man, that's the London I grew up in as a kid.
No, it's a wonderful snapshot, and it's something that I kind of remember almost through faint nostalgia and like, you know, watching YouTube videos of. But I do certainly remember London of that era. But yeah, you're right. It's weird as well, Krug, because my memories, obviously, as a kid of a city is Birmingham, which I remember very well. I don't think there's a single film set in Birmingham. I have actually looked into this. There's lots in Manchester and Glasgow and stuff, but not many in Brom. Yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess it's just not the most photogenic city, I suppose, out there. But but yeah,
perfect setting for something.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they go historical with Peaky, but you know, I think some sort of contemporary thing. But we're in the arcade now. Camels are being bet on. And, you know, you get a feel for like Ray's nastiness again, how he's not happy with the fact that Billy won a camel here. And again, I like his ad libs where he's like, giddy up, you cunt.
Yeah. Lots of cunts.
And Mark has a funny line as well that I noticed on the second watch where he goes, Mark's like, I was cheating and I didn't even win, which I appreciated. He was like, he was being candid with it. Very nice next scene where they go to a strip club, of course. And I mean, again, Ray, this scene made me cringe a little bit. And I was a bit like, because there's a girl outside and she's like, do you want to come inside? He's like, I'll come inside you. And I was like, bloody hell, Ray.
Yeah, I know.
And then Ray snatches the camel off Billy and gives it to the woman as a gift. Like,
yeah. Again, yeah. He's a cunt.
I mean, we've established this. We're not even at the worst stuff here, but you know, it's like bada bing in there, right? It's like, you know, the topless girls and whatnot, and like again, a 17-year-old girl sits on Mark's lap, and he loves it. Like it's debauchery, and then they basically leave eventually, and then you know they're smoking the spliff in the car, and they see some guy that's died outside the pub. They get scared initially. There might be police or whatever, but they see that, and it's like, again, something that Ray says here. I want to start using in my daily parlance. He goes like, I don't want to look at that. It's giving me the fucking horrors. It's giving me the horrors.
Give me the horrors.
So, is that a London thing? I've never heard that before.
I've not heard that, but like, it just rolls off the tongue. That's one that I would love to start incorporating more. It's giving me the horrors.
It's giving me the horrors, that, mate. Like, it's giving me bare horrors, but...
have a look at that. Oh, get on the case. Get on the geezer there, look. Just slow down a bit, look. Oh, get on that, look.
Oh, I can't have none of that.
Oh, he's dead, mate. He's well dead.
Is he dead?
He's out, is he? Look. Oh, drive on, mate. Gives you the fucking horrors there.
The film then reaches, like, again, up to this point, I feel like you could be like, yeah, it's a slice of life, you know, they're geezers, whatever. I mean, okay, there's an underage girl there and whatnot. And there's a lot of cocaine, but whatever. But then this next scene where basically we are in the morning after, Billy's in their flat, Billy is using some of Ray's drugs.
Yeah.
It's really well composed, this whole sequence, because Billy is nervously checking if Ray's there. Obviously, he knows Ray lives there, you know, but it's just it's the screwed logic of an addict. Like I do understand that in a certain way. It's really nice, Kruger, how basically he inhales and then it cuts to outside and it shows you like the flats and like the quiet of the flats, and it's like very serene.
Yeah.
And then Ray comes down, you know, angry, shirtless, barking at Billy. Where's the fucking gear? You know, he's triple his size. He tells him not to hold his hands up. You know, the propulsion of it. It's 7 a.m. It's a brutal scene.
Oh, get up. Oh, get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Where's my fucking gear? Where's my fucking gear? Don't fucking lie to me, you cunt. Where's my fucking gear? Where's my fucking gear?
Don't fuck all with
Don't tell me my fucking lies, bro. Don't lie to me, you cunt, or I'll knock you out. Now, where's my fucking bit of gear?
I don't know what this
Don't fucking lie to me, you where's my... Don't fucking put your hands... Don't fucking put your hands up. Get your fucking hands off.
Yeah, and this is where the first time you see that other side of him, which you know is there, you've seen little bits of, but this is when you've seen it like really in action and like how horrible and violent he can be. And it's just like a kind of like a little shows you what's coming, which gets worse and worse, but just shows like that kind of side of him and like how volatile he is.
Because you don't actually see what happens in this scene properly. So he throws him to the floor, and again, it's not quite clear because you're basically behind the character, see the back of Ray's head, and he basically bites his nose, like he horribly bites his nose.
Yeah.
And all you can hear is Billy like howling, like a real tortured scream. It's awful. Like he really sounds bad. But yeah, it's kind of, and again, it's like an animalistic thing, isn't it? It's not like, it's beyond fighting, isn't it? It's like something a wild animal does, is to like try and bite something off someone.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, and we don't, again, we don't see the immediate aftermath, but then we see Billy walking through the corridors. And it is horrendous, isn't it, when the camera actually settles on him and you can see his like lacerated nose. Like, Ray has done a number on him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's nasty.
Really nasty. And again, there's a lot of elegance and poetry in the cinematography here. We see like the hallways of the buildings where there's like a trolley and a football turned over and all that sort of stuff. And what did you think of the scene when, so Billy comes downstairs with his nose and he asked that guy for a fag in the playground?
Yeah, no, I thought that was a great scene. I'm glad you mentioned that actually, because that scene kind of stood out to me. Just kind of like, how first he asked for a cigarette, gets a cigarette, and then, like, only after a moment later, he's asking if he can borrow £1.
Yeah.
It's like with an excuse of, like, just to catch the bus to the hospital. You come across these people all the time that kind of, like, come up with these excuses. Oh, can I borrow this because of this? And And just that when he sort of, like, and then he was just like, he got his son and got out of there. But it was, like, a really kind of subtle kind of scene, but it kind of just, you're really seeing that kind of him as being almost just like a junkie, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know, pure.
And it adds to the tragic state of him that now he's even with a mangled face, and he's just, you can see the desperation in him, just like constantly needing money, needing his next fix, and it's just kind of adds to the kind of tragedy of his kind of like life, really.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like, yeah, he has an excuse ready, doesn't he? He's like, I'm a brickie, I fell off some scaffolding, like, he just sort of has a way to it.
Got a spare fag, mate? Oh, blinding tight. Cheers, mate.
Been in a fight?
Nah, I'm a brickie. Fell off some scaffolding at work. It's alright, it's only a scratch.
And again, yeah, like you said, this guy is with his son, and it, you know, the kind of theme of like sons and fathers, or like older men and younger men, like runs through this
Mm,
film. Now, Krug, this is an out there theory, which again, I'm not saying has any credence, but it's just what I noticed. The guy tells his son to come along, and his son is called Gary. Is this Gary Oldman as
mm.
because it's just
Okay, yeah, I never made that observation, but
yeah.
that's quite astute. I like that.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking that because it's like, again, could be coincidence, of course, but I'm just thinking Gary Oldman wrote the
Mm,
script. Like, you know, I'm sure
yeah,
whenever you know of a Fred, or whenever I know of a Tom, it's like I wouldn't really write a Tom into a script of mine. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
but but maybe not. I mean, maybe not.
Yeah, it could be a subtle reference.
Could
Yeah, it
be.
could just be random. But I feel like, yeah, I feel like there must be more to it. The fact that it almost could reflect that, like, oh, him being like a child growing up, seeing these things
Yes.
in his neighborhood. I mean, and him just being an observer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a nice observation. I never noticed that.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was just, to be honest with you, it was the beauty of subtitles. I probably wouldn't have noticed it otherwise, but I saw the
Mm,
word Gary on screen. I was like, oh, hang on,
yeah.
Gary. So yeah, we then get some Clapton music back in full effect, the blues in full effect, which again, I like the kind of musical palette in this film. It's very different. We see him asking for change and kind of getting through that thing, and the whole
Mm,
this film, Nil By Mouth, is very unflinching in its depiction of drug use, right? Like
mm,
you fully see it here,
yeah,
really, the grubbiness, the
yeah,
addiction. It felt very,
mm,
you know, in that train spotting sort of world for
yeah.
me. And he retreats back to, you know, wherever he can stay in the garages underneath the flats. But the peace is soon broken when, you know, Janice basically opens it up and sees what he's been doing, and she still took him to the hospital and got him checked out and all this sort of stuff. And it's just, you really feel her pain.
That scene where I know it's probably coming later, but the scene where he's doing the heroin in the back of the van and she's
Yeah.
watching, it's heartbreaking. Like, you can see her face where it's just like the concern, and just like it just really kind of gets to you, or it got to me at least.
Oh no, no, for sure that scene stood out as well. And so he's pulled back. So obviously he's still nodding off, but he's pulled back to Janice's apartment. And this is where we also meet the grandmother character, who's the final sort of
Hmm.
main character.
Mm,
Now, did a bit of research on her. Interestingly,
mm.
she's Edna Dorr, and she was in a Mike Leigh film that I just watched the other day, High Hopes. She's the main old lady in that. She's
Okay.
fantastic in that. She was also Frank Butcher's mother in EastEnders.
Oh wow.
That's quite a
My
role.
God. Yeah.
But yeah, she's a good actress. It's just mad though, because this film came out in 1997. And that Mike Leigh film that I watched came out 9 years before. But she looks about 20 years older in the Mike Leigh film. Like, she's very good at playing like very elderly. Like, you know, I was quite impressed by that. But yeah, so Billy is seeking refuge here in the flat. We see him doing the drug
Mhm.
stretches, you know, that people do. And
Mhm.
I sort of
Yeah.
appreciate seeing that on screen here. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, what you were saying before, really. This scene just follows where he needs money yet again. You know, the next morning he's striving for
Hmm.
money, and his mom, God bless her, she's good enough in the pouring rain to take him out to get his fix.
Yeah, it's really sad that. And again, you're kind of seeing in his sense, you're seeing in his life, he has nothing else.
Mm.
He's using these drugs for, like, really to kind of hide his pain. That he's got nothing else going for him, and he's just kind of like, that's all he kind of really cares about. Again, he's kind of just like leeching off his mum and anyone that will support his habit. And you kind of see her talk about it later on in the film, where she's like, oh, you know what I mean, like, I'm giving, like, when he goes to her work trying to get more money off him, and she's just like, you know what I mean, I'm just your charity case, giving you constantly, like, supporting your £60 habit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's real tragic, real tragic.
It is real tragic, and yeah, that's essentially the next scene. I mean, just the scene between that is a quite interesting scene, like a very brief one, where it's Ray and Valerie watching anonymous morning TV and just like drinking.
Hmm.
It's only like 30 seconds, and it's like almost this weird,
Mm,
like, oh, here is them being quote unquote normal, you know, here is them just
mm,
being a
mm,
whatever couple. But yeah, I love that scene as well where Billy comes into Jan's work, which looks like a laundry or
mm.
something, and he's a right arsehole
Yeah.
to her. And she, you know, she's his mom and she loves him, and she's And yeah, and what you said, I love that line. She says, "You've got a £60 a day habit, and I've been supporting it like a right cunt." And it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
there you go. Yeah, yeah.
What are you doing here?
Have you got any money?
Oh, don't be silly. I gave you money this morning. What have you done with it?
Well, you know, something come up, you know what I mean? Like the fucking way off a mate of mine.
What, mate?
A mate, Mum, you know, I owed him a bit of dough.
Well, I haven't got any
Oh,
money.
Mum, don't fuck about.
Don't raise your voice at me and show me up at fucking work. What the pox of it? How much do you want?
A score.
I haven't got a score. I don't go to fucking work so that you can spend it on your fucking mates. What have you done with the money I gave you?
I've done that, haven't I?
What, a fucking dear?
Oh, look, don't fuck me about.
Do you know how much money you've had out of me over the last year? It adds up to fucking thousands.
Don't be stupid, thousands. How'd you work that out?
Because you've got a £60 a day fucking habit and I've been supporting it like some cunt.
It's very difficult, and this desperation that Billy's then getting into. It's quite interesting that he then raids Ray and Val's flat, right, and eventually takes that painting.
I don't know, and he literally searches every nook and cranny trying to find something, and like he's getting nothing. And the fact that they showed so much of his searching as well, like they didn't just show like a few, like him turning over a pillow or whatever. It was like they showed like him going through the whole house, like just searching everything.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
But no, like he's pouring out every pot on every drawer, and like he's putting his hand in every crevice of every, you know what I mean? And I mean, the dark sort of truth of that, thinking about it, is Ray's probably done that before him, right? Ray's probably looked through every corner of every, like, you know. So I can't imagine that he gets it out there. But as we move on now, you know, Ray, we learn, is pissed off about the painting somewhat. But again, it's quite artfully done, where there's no scene where Ray's like, "Where's me mum's fucking painting?" It's like, it's just, you sort of hear through the grapevine that he's annoying. But I quite like that Val and Mo and Janice laugh about this. Like, again, the film.
I know, I like that.
Yeah, right? Like, it was kind of cool they still got that.
Yeah, it was nice to just see a kind of like nice kind of human side of the net that just kind of like they're still like can, you know, laugh you know, about these kind of subjects, and just like that they still kind of, still, you can see that kind of family aspect in them.
Yes, yeah. No, there's another funny line just before that, actually, where Janice is like, "Oh, Ray's been looking for Billy everywhere," and she's like, "Well, why couldn't he find him? He's got a nose like fucking Coco the clown."
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
That really like there's something about being humorous in a really dark situation that it like makes it way funnier. Like, it really caught me off guard how funny that was.
Oh, 100%. Like Tarantino-esque.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, we get another shot of the exterior of the flats, and it's Ray is now in the flat and he's ready to go out. He's got his yellow shirt on. He's getting ready, and this was a scene that took me by surprise, Krugs, where Ray playfully but not playfully seems to be violent towards the elderly grandmother.
Boom. Oh, you don't want to dare raise your hand at me.
What are you going to do then, little old bird like you? What are you going to do?
Don't you worry, mate.
Yeah, let's have a
I
straight
can give you a kick in the balls. I ain't that old.
What? And now, what? You want a bit of that? You want a bit of some of this?
Get
or
off.
what?
Get
What?
off
What?
me.
What?
No.
I'm surprised you still know where a pair of bollocks are. I mean, the last time someone was hanging at you, they must have been fucking on horseback. Last time you had a trade, Kev. When was the last time you had a fucking trade, eh? I'm only fucking about. Come and give us a cuddle.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was really uncomfortable. I think.
Yeah.
He was like, being like, "Oh, I'm just joking. I'm just fucking about." But it was really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The fact that you, like, kind of almost like abusing the elderly.
Yeah. It's like no taboo.
Goes to show no one's safe.
No one is safe. No, he's like, I just wanted a little giggle, a little laugh, like, you know, and he seems like quite heartened by it, and he's like almost heartbroken, as like, you know, oh, no one wants to play with me, sort of thing. But she just goes upstairs, you know. She understands that this is, you don't want to be around this man. It is crazy to say. Again, he does it in a playful way that you might do a mate, where you sort of fake them out or whatever. But it's like, you shouldn't really do that to an elderly person, you know.
No, yeah. This guy has no boundaries.
No. And we're then back at the laundrette, and William and Danny are there hanging out. Danny gets a dog in this scene, a little baby dog. And this ends
Oh
up
yeah,
causing quite a ruckus between this guy and it just shows you the mindless violence, I suppose, of them all and how they can spill out.
yeah. How it can stuff can quickly escalate so quickly, and to the point where they break the window of the laundrette. It's like the fight that kind of sparks out. I recognize that actor from somewhere as well, but I couldn't pin where it was.
Yeah.
I've obviously seen him and stuff way older.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah,
British somewhere, definitely. I can see him there. But yeah, we get a lot
yeah,
more history here as well. So this little dog talk comes into hearing about Billy being younger and how his dad put his dog down when he went on holiday with his
yeah,
nan. And he seems really hurt by this and moved by this. And Ray later will share a lot of his stories of his own father, and that seems to be a kind of running theme throughout this.
hmm
Kind of what comes after that.
Hey, what was that? Fucking hell. About 6 weeks?
No, that's a fucking week old, that is.
Fuck off.
Where'd you
6
get it?
weeks, I found it.
Well, fucking take care, mate.
Lovely,
It's a
innit?
pretty little thing, ain't it? Well, I'll tell you what, we had a fucking dog years ago. Beautiful dog it was. All stations it was. What? No, that's what I used to call it. Like, that's what I thought I was saying when I was little. All stations, German Shepherd. Judy her name was. Yeah, my dad fucking put it down when I was little.
Again, we hear that this guy went into prison for stabbing people as well on behalf of his mom,
hmm
and and all that sort of stuff. And then yeah, they're eventually away, running off into the distance. The laundrette window smashed as well. Like, yeah,
yeah,
this haven kind of done. Next up is the beginning of a really painful sequence, Kruger. So we start with Val at the pool table, and then just trying to have a good time, really trying to let loose to a certain extent. But Ray sees this, and Ray is not happy, right?
yeah. This is getting to the real kind of uncomfortable part of the film, which I kind of like. As I was watching back, I knew it was coming up, but I didn't know when it happened or how it happened. I just knew, obviously, it's like the theme. One of the main themes of this is domestic abuse and just like
Mm,
how nasty it can get.
mm.
And yeah, this is like the start of that from that scene. And yeah, just horrible, horrible scene.
I mean, awful scene. But just before we get to that scene, sorry. So we're at the pool table. Ray comes in, says doesn't want to drink. He's had his own drink. Then we are back with Danny and Billy, and this was a really interesting
hmm
scene where we have Dennis Hopper in his unnamed role in a public
Oh yeah,
now,
yeah.
and Danny just giving like a word perfect rendition of the scene. Like that was really cool, wasn't it?
That was a fun little scene, yeah, to just throw in there and just like his kind of reaction to it. But yeah, again, like you said earlier about showing the TV screens and just
Yes.
like showing people hanging out, watching movies and just like fucking about, and just like his kind of like you're probably high, like slow reaction to it, and then he just starts giggling.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, that was just a funny little performance. That was a nice little touch. I like that scene.
He likes you because you're still alive. He's got plans for you. No. I'm not gonna help you. You're gonna help him, man. You're gonna help him. I mean, what are they gonna say, man, when he's gone? Because he dies when he dies, man. When he dies, he dies. What are they gonna say about him? What? They're gonna say he was a kind man? He was a wise man? He had plans, he had wisdom? Bullshit, man! Am I gonna be the one that's gonna set him straight? Look at me, wrong!
No, yeah, I like that scene as well. It was very, very cool. And it's kind of like, there's not many scenes I can think of in movies where someone is doing the scene in a movie while the movie's playing. Like, it's kind
Yeah, I
of
can't think of any.
no, I can't really think of it. Like, that is kind of hyper specific, but like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, there's loads of
Yeah,
references to movies in other movies, of course, but like someone mouthing along to a whole scene like that is pretty cool. But
yeah.
yes, let's get into it. So we're then back at the flat. We see Ray sitting on a chair, shirt off, scars, tattoos on his,
Mm,
weird tattoos as well. He's got like
mm,
this odd, like
yeah,
two long lines with like some weird cryptic writing in them. Like they've got quite odd, almost I guess prison tats, that sort of thing, like of that sort of guild. But he wakes Val up, tells her to come downstairs, And yeah, I mean, here he boils over, he barks at her. She says she can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just screeching at her in his boxers as well. Then, she sort of falls to the floor and he begins to kick her and scream cunt at her. And, again, I apologize for our listeners. I mean, you know what you're getting into, listen to Nil By Mouth commentary here, but, he's filled with rage. And we don't see it, but we can hear her. And it is just an awful vision, isn't it? Ray, sweaty, writhing, angry. And you know that at his feet is his pregnant fucking wife who's just been kicked horrendously.
Yeah, harrowing scene. Seeing the monster side of him, one of the hardest scenes to watch in the film, I think. You're kind of seeing it escalate. Like you're seeing it kind of build up over time, and then now he's given the first excuse to kind of lash out and go crazy. And yeah, it's horrific, especially afterwards as well. Seeing one of the most heartbreaking things for me was when seeing Val's then explain about it and not being able to tell the truth and just saying, "Oh yeah, I got hit by the car," and giving that whole spill and the she knows she's lying, but she's just concerned for her and wants to help, and it's just it is heartbreaking seeing her not being able to confront it or tell, or scared to talk about it, because obviously there's repercussions for everything and she has to watch everything she does. And yeah, again, brilliant performance by Kathy Burke. I think it's just really heartbreaking stuff.
Yeah, no, exceptional performance, definitely. And even when he's assaulted her as he has, you can see that he doesn't know what to do next. He's flaring up. He runs his hands around his boxers as well, almost as a form of desperation, to on I don't really know what he's doing there, but it's an amazing performance. I'm surprised that.
Hello, darling. Only popped in for a quick cuppa. Nice bloody cold out.
Michelle, go watch your telly, darling. Good girl.
Oh my God! What you fucking done? Fucking hell! What's the matter with you?
Oh, I got run over.
What do you mean you got run over? Where?
Round by the shops.
I'm surprised though when Val says about the car thing, which obviously is just the biggest lie ever. It's weird that Janice, her mom, sort of seems to believe her. It's maybe she can't almost face the fact that Ray has done this. I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like she was living the lie with her. Just obviously didn't want to face her because it's obviously it's so scary. And at that point, it's just she's just trying to make sense of it.
Yeah.
But I know. I mean, I'm sure she quickly realized what actually happened. But at that time, she's just a concerned mother.
Yes, of course. And it's it's the sequencing, it's the patterning of it that I really I don't want to say I love it. I admire this artistry, greatly, of course. What I mean is so we have the scene after this in the hospital, like we say, where she gives the excuse of the car crash. And then it cuts to again the TV, and the daughter's watching TV, and Val says to the daughter she has to go to the toilet. And then, she miscarries essentially, she collapses on the stairs. And when we see her on the bed for the second time, Kruger, and she doesn't have a hair covering, she looks like the Elephant Man, doesn't she? She looks so swelled. It's awful.
Yeah, real horrific stuff. Kind of just shows the real horrificness of it all.
Yeah, and Jan asks Val, this is mother to daughter, if she still loves him. And she doesn't actually say anything. She just sort of coughs. Coughs really heavy, doesn't want to answer perhaps. But as we keep saying, Kruger, in this film, it can be super dark. And then the next scene where Billy's just in the bath being a Jamaican, it's just this kind of...
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, again, yeah.
It's just there. It's just it's it's a little bit of light entertainment.
Life goes on.
Life does go well. You say life goes on, and then the next scene is a heartbreaking scene where the young daughter Michelle and the gran put a name on a balloon, for the lost child, and let it fly up into the sky. And again, they don't even really say anything, and it's just really powerful.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I mean, there's so much in this film, of course, like there's so much devastation, but this is like, we've really crested now. We've really got into sort of, where Nil By Mouth becomes Nil By Mouth.
Mm.
And the balloon scene with the Gran, as I say, and then we're back into Ray exploding into threats, trying to get into the apartment,
Mm.
absolutely losing his shit, smashing a window, saying he's going to get a
Yeah.
gun if he's got it. And like, I respect his friend Mark being there, but I feel like, because I know Mark's his mate and that, but Mark seems to be a bit more on the level. And it's like, can't you see that Ray's being horrific right now? Like,
Give me my keys, you cunt! Give me my...
She don't want to fucking see ya!
Give me my kid out of here! Fuck you! My kid, get her out of here! I'll fucking bury you! My kid! You cunt! You fucking
She's
cunt!
lost a
Get my
fucking
kid out of
baby
here!
because of you, because you can't get your...
Oi!
Listen, you fucking noise, mate.
You can threaten me all you fuck...
Look at this cunt! Go back inside, you nosy cunt!
I know, like literally, like what can it take for like that's someone he's got his back, like no matter what. Because how low can you go for you to still be like supporting this guy?
yeah, it's just, but we do get a little tiny shred of justice towards the close of the film now, where Ray and Mark tail a car to the hospital to work out where Val is. And then, I mean, he's a character we've not really mentioned yet, who's kind of in the film a bit. Well, he's in the film a bit, but he's only in a little bit. Angus, who is like the friend that has like the poodle haircut. And good to see that he gives Ray a really good smack here and knocks him to the ground.
Yeah, 100%. He needed that. Like, well, he needed a lot more, but it was nice to see that at least that Val did have some support and people that were kind of like sticking up for her and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it was, he's really sort of on the floor bleeding, like he's not just been knocked down. And it's like, yeah, at least there are people in this world that do despise Ray and recognize Ray for what, the monster that he is. So it's nice that we're given these little glimmers of retribution here. But yeah, it's just the next scene again is Ray spiraling, Ray trying to get Val on the phone, talks of fighting, wanting to fight forever and stuff like that. And then also him just smashing the whole gaff apart.
Yeah, and getting blackout drunk and just you kind of seeing that really kind of like low down, like damaged side to him. Yes. Where it's just like he is not a mentally well, obviously that, but you're just kind of seeing the really kind of like deranged, like broken down, like pathetic almost side of him.
Completely tragic. And it's the cutting here is really good because it cuts between him trying to talk to Val with him just destroying everything. Like I really, really like that. And they then head into the flat, this being Val, Janet, and Billy, in the next scene, and see the extent of what he's done. He's even lit fireworks in there, apparently, we learn. Like Billy points that out. And then he's smashed through doors with his bare fists. And he's like carved the words "my baby" into the wall. Like,
yeah, it's just complete madness. Like psychopathic, like craziness.
The horrendousness of it is awful. And it's like, again, you do think like, okay, why is he like this? Again, often there is no reason for this. And even if there is, that's not really a way to excuse behavior. But you do, it's a film, so you wonder about character motivation and history and stuff like that. So yeah, we're back with Mark and Ray, and we've, normally see them trading stories about the good old days and mad shit they got up to and stuff like that. But here it's mostly Ray talking, and he talks about his father, and he gives a great speech about his dad and how his mom used to bring his dad his dinner in the pub because he'd never leave the pub. And, he was essentially Ray. Like, he was always on drugs and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, again, this scene is just wonderful. Ray Winston's acting is extraordinary in this. But, as it plays out, basically, it's the only time that Ray ever asked his dad if he loved him was when he was dead. Like he never had any sort of relationship.
Ain't when he died, though, is it?
No. Lived another 10 years, slippery old cunt. He died one afternoon in that fucking armchair, about right. I went round to see him, when he was plotted up around my mother's.
Hatcham Road?
Yeah, Hatcham Road, right? He was upstairs, in that front bedroom, laid out up there.
Free.
Yeah. I've gone up there, gone in. Sitting on the bed looking at him, right? He's laid out like that. Mullered. Yeah, he was like he shrunk, He was a big man.
He was a lump.
Yeah, you fucking should know. I got enough clumps off the cunt.
Like, as you said, it's an insight into like why he is the way he is. You know what I mean? Hurt people, that whole thing.
Indeed.
This is a very damaged individual.
It is indeed. And it, like, again, it's in no way justification. And I know that that's not what the film's saying at all, but it's just, it's almost like it's his form of justification. It's like him sharing this is him sort of say, oh, well, this is, maybe it's to him, it can kind of, allow it to a certain extent, but, you can't excuse what he's done at all. But yes, as we get then into the final scenes, we get a really nice scene of Kathy Burke, Val, I keep calling her Kathy Burke, dancing to some music and like encouraging her nan to dance with her and just to sort of, just to be with family, to be with a loved one and just, kind of have that thing. And then, I mean, all good things must come to an end, right? So we see Billy and Danny in broad daylight running back to the laundrette, a geezer with a knife. What did you think of this scene?
I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. Can you remind me?
It's not too much. It's more like they just meet their reckoning. It's just a guy with a knife.
Right. Yeah.
And there's no back door, there's no way out. And it's kind of we don't see what happens, which is kind of nice again, which is a very common thing in this film. We just see them kind of, they stole from the wrong guy and they've got caught and
right, yeah,
and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then we see our characters then, Billy and Danny, in cells at the end of the film. Billy, good to his form, takes a hit of heroin in a cell, lights a match off the wall, and he basically had something up his arse that he squeezes out, and then just like a little thing or whatever. And it's interesting because he takes a hit and he seems to achieve this clarity, and then like a tear rolls down his eye in the cell, and it's like, and then that tear leads to a downpour in the next scene where, we get Val and Ray here who, potentially could hash something out. But again, it's like Ray isn't willing to go there. Ray mentions his other kid that he's got, and it's like how that's being a bollocks. And it's like, Val stands up for herself here, which I really like.
I mean, when you go out with your mates. And then when you are indoors, you're pissed out of your brains asleep in front of the fucking television. I'll turn the television off, go up to bed, you follow me up at 3 o'clock in the morning stinking of booze. That's what I get. Either that or you're knocking me about. Well, I'm 30 today, and I feel so fucking old. I'm so tired. And I want to be able to look back and say, yeah, I had a bit of fun, when I'm old, instead of saying everyone fucking felt sorry for me. When that's the life I've got. Do you hear what I'm saying?
And she says, like, I'm 30 today and I feel so old and I want to look back and, don't feel like everyone fucking felt sorry for me and all this sort of thing. And it's great. And it's like, it's really edifying and uplifting.
I thought that speech at the end was brilliant. Yeah.
But the sadness about it, Kruger, ultimately is that, she forgives him and goes back to him.
I know. Yeah, you kind of get a time jump. And then it's kind of like, that really is kind of like life goes on, that final scene where it's just like, everything's just gone kind of like back to normal. They're talking about Billy in prison. Yeah. Kind of some time has passed. But yeah, it's kind of like, again, it just goes to show that like, yeah, like he's acting a bit more normal now as well. But then it's just like, it just goes to show like these patterns probably repeat itself. But it's showing that there's calm amongst the madness, and then it will get mad again, but just like the loop of just going round and round. But I thought it was an interesting choice to kind of end the film that way.
Me too. Me too. So yeah, we don't get this, I love you, this sort of thing. Like, it's like, obviously so much horrendous stuff has happened. Not only is he attacked his supposed loved one, but she's miscarried because of that, you know. And like, even Janice says, Val's mother, he should be done for murder for that. And I mean, it's kind of insane what he's wrought on these people. But yeah, he's all forgiven because we cut forward. I think it's Christmas time because we can see Christmas lights. And they're all in the kitchen, and Mick's there as well. Mark's there, sorry, there as well. And they're all kind of cracking wise, and they're all talking about stuff. And like, you even hear about back in the day when Janice, because they're talking about like, basically what's happened is, it's quite funny actually, but like, Billy has sort of been caught between two different plots. Like, someone thinks he's someone else for something Danny did, and then someone else thinks he was with a woman that so. And then they talk about how do they get razors in, and then Ray speaks about how Janice used to get stuff in him for him, like giving him a French kiss for like a bit of puff, and she like smiles at this. She's like proud of it. She's like, oh yeah, I did that.
Reminiscing on the good times.
Reminiscing on the like whatever, and it's just like, it's just it is completely heartbreaking. Like, from the start of the film, it's not going to have a happy ending because, Janice says, like, when the grandma says, why don't you dump him? She said, well, she wants a baby with the same dad and she doesn't want to be on the social or whatever. It's just like, there's no escape for these characters. And so that even makes it even more sad, doesn't it? Like you say, that it is this endless loop.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But no, I thought that was a bold decision and kind of like strong to kind of just show that, like, despite all of this kind of tragedy, eventually it blows over. Things go back to normality, and it's kind of just showing like a more kind of normal day for them, where they're just like, cracking jokes about these kind of things and just like making light of kind of these situations, and just kind of again just kind of shows the human side of them, family, and just like how life goes on, as I said.
Yeah, no, and like, seeing Michelle, the young kid, play with Ray's face, and like, like a dad and daughter do, like a dad and child do.
Yeah.
And it's like, she obviously loves him, she's a dad, like, but he is a monster. And the final line of the film, the final moment of the film, I thought was quite interesting, where they all leave to go visit the prison. And the final line is actually between Val and Janice, mother and daughter. And Janice just says that she hopes she doesn't start to cry when she sees him in the prison. And that's how it ends.
Where's fucking Nick going, isn't it?
Pressure on it.
I hate it. Every time I turn that corner, my stomach goes over. Horrible hole. Fancy being banged up there. You got the VO?
Yeah, it's in my bag.
Because we'll be fucked without that. We'll get all the way there and won't be able to get in. Looks nice. Done a good job, Ray.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You got your ID, Mother?
Yeah, me bag, me passport.
Come on then. Is the gas off?
Yeah, off. Got me keys. You all right?
Hope I don't start to cry.
When?
When I see him.
Interesting, isn't it? It's like, what is it? It's like, I hope I don't show emotionality in a harsh environment, I suppose.
Yeah.
Sort of thematically works, but yeah.
Yeah, true.
But that's Nil By Mouth, my guy. We survived.
Yeah. Great film. Really enjoyed the rewatch. It was nice to kind of talk to you about it and really break those scenes down. And you kind of like made me even realize things that I didn't realize when I was watching it. Do you know what I mean? So it's great to kind of like really break it down scene by scene, respect the kind of artistry of it.
Oh my God.
And give it its props. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
And Gary Oldman as well. Like, what a talent! I don't know why he hasn't done more films, but his writing is so good in that. I wonder what else he's capable of. Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And like, Gary Oldman is like one of those actors that's worth like $1 billion because he's just been in so many huge franchises, and like, and he's just a legend, full stop, really. And like, There's have you heard of a film called Prick Up Your Ears from 1987?
No, I have not.
Yeah, no, you should watch it. He's in it. It's a true story where basically there was this playwright in the 60s called Joe Orton. He plays Joe Orton. And he was like the hot, out there playwright. And he wrote a film for the Beatles actually, that they commissioned, but it didn't get made. Uh, but,
Oh,
but
interesting.
but basically, he was murdered in his sleep by his lover out of jealousy. Like it's a crazy story, and
What, in the film?
in real life and in the film, yeah,
Oh, in real life, yeah.
yeah, in
Okay,
real
sorry,
life
okay.
as well, yeah. But yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
obviously he's in Bram Stoker's Dracula as well, which is a Coppola film like Apocalypse Now, and I mean he's in so much good stuff. He's such a good actor. But yeah, props to Gary Oldman. Oh yeah, he's Sid Vicious as well. In Sid and Nancy, yeah, he's unbelievable in that. That's a great movie. So we'll have to cover that one day. Yeah, True Romance. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, what is he Drexel in that or whatever he's called? Like, yeah,
He's had a varied career.
yeah, he's out there. He's out there. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so this has been the British Film Club again, dear listeners, and do let me know if maybe you yourself want to come on and tackle a British film classic. I've got a long list, as Kruger can attest to, that I can send you, and also, anything else British that I maybe I haven't seen or not mentioned. Happily to do that as well. So yeah, we'll be back soon for that. As always, subscribe to the channel. The Patreon is there. The Grapes Tapes is there. My Early Doors mini series is exclusively on Patreon. That's available there. You also get premium first listen access to Blight and Mrs. Merton and also the British Film Club, amongst other stuff as well. Kruger, anything to promote yourself, my friend?
No, nothing to promote at the moment. I'm literally just like I've just had a baby, so I'm just living dad life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please,
No
please
new
treat,
songs or anything coming out for a while.
just please treat your kids nicer than Ray does.
Yeah, of course.
It's a pretty low bar. It's pretty low bar, but yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
again, guys, let us know what you think of Nil by Mouth because obviously me and Kruger love this movie. I'm sure everyone does. How can you not really? I mean, it's a brutal watch. Don't get me wrong. It's not an easy watch, but the Royal Ramble Pod at gmail.com. That's the Royal Ramble Pod at gmail.com. Let me know what you think of Nil by Mouth, or indeed if you want to come on and do more British Film Club. But yes, this has been your host Tom yet again, and Kruger. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me, man. Always a pleasure.